What a wonderful welcome. Thank you so much. Help to the club. I think Bob Holland probably is in Raleigh. He'll be getting his round of treatment for esophageal cancer, if I said that correctly. Other concerns? Does anybody know other concerns for health? We'll keep Bob Holland in your thoughts and prayers. All right, we've got a number of birthdays. This one might have been done last week, but it's worth doing again. Bobby Bumbarger is on the 17th, was on the 17th. John Milholland, 19th. Clinton Annis, the 23rd. Dana Killian, the 26th. Bob Singletary, the 27th. Ann Stallnacker, 28th. White Eddings, 29th. And Anna Shook on the 30th. Round of applause for this. Okay, Michael, one last boy's life. Dad, are bugs good to eat? Asked the boy. Let's not talk about such things at the dinner table, son, his father replied. After dinner, the father inquired, now, son, what did you want to ask me? Oh, nothing, the boy said. There was a bug in your soup, but now it's gone.
Well done.
Okay, this being July is the changeover for leadership, as some of it is evident, and some of it is not as evident as in committees. And we should have had that done by now. We're running a little slow on that, and we're also got sort of stung by there are 5 Thursdays this month, and the 31st didn't get on some of the list from last year, so we're working through all that. But the board members are each in charge of certain areas, and they have been getting all the committee chairmen, and I think most of those are in place, and some of the committee members. So we'll have that finalized this week, and then if there's a particular committee that you want to serve on that you have not been asked so far, and not a lot of people have been asked, we're just trying to get some leadership going. But feel free to talk to any board member or myself, and we can make sure that you get on the committee that you want to serve on. And as we begin filling those out, we want everybody to be on a committee at least. And we want to be having active committees, not just a committee chair doing everything. So just take a look at the program of work. It has changed slightly in that we've combined some committees, but mostly it's as it was last year. So I hope you'll look at that and be prepared to make a selection of a committee that you want to work in. There are several things that we're going to be working on. Membership is a big committee. We want to have about 15 people on that committee this year and have it broken into some different groups and responsibilities. Carolina Cycle Challenge will be a bigger deal for us this year, so we need a lot of people on that. And then the other things that we do all the time, we want to make sure that we don't have to go to the last second signing up for Salvation Army, bell ring, the last second, getting bloodmobile and things like that. So just, you know what we do, and we're going to continue to do it. We're still going to have Rotarian Idol. We're going to try to do it with a little different flavor, so there'll be a lot to do there. So a lot of things to do to be engaged in Rotary. So I hope you'll look for that. Any other announcements? Nobody has said anything to me so far. Okay. You may have to sing yet, but we're waiting on them to all get here. Okay, we're going to go ahead with the program, and Ernie Shea has the program.
I'm going to make my introduction kind of short because Beth was with us last week, and I introduced you to her, Beth Medlock. She's the Regional Program Manager for Pretty in Pink Foundation. Currently, in her past, Beth has experience working in NASCAR, doing events, event planning, public relations, marketing, things of that sort. That's how we met over the years. And now she's working with the Pretty in Pink Foundation, and she has some interesting information for you today if you'll give her your attention.
I'm going to hold this up like this so I don't look like Ernie. I'm wearing unusually high heels today, and I don't really need the height, but I have previous experience of NASCAR marketing, about 20 years of experience, and I have a lot of stories about this young man sitting over here. So if you need any good gossip, just come see me. Like he said, my name is Beth, and I'm the program manager for Pretty in Pink Foundation in Charlotte and Western North Carolina. Pretty in Pink Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to financially assist uninsured and underinsured breast cancer patients. And we're North Carolina only, and our intention is to be nationwide by 2020. So it's very ambitious for us. I'm new in this position. I started in March. I came out of the NASCAR world, and I just decided one evening, laying in bed, that in my NASCAR days, I was just making rich drivers richer, and it wasn't really helping any of you. So I decided to refocus efforts, and I've accepted this position. There's been no one in my position before me, so March was my initiation month, and I'm here crusading across Charlotte and the Western North Carolina. I have about 33 counties that I need to service. I live in Conover, so I am local. We're headquartered in Raleigh, and I go to Raleigh once or twice a quarter just for board meetings and things of that nature. So like I mentioned, we serve all 100 counties. We started in Raleigh. I have a counterpart in Wilmington. I'm the Western Region manager. In 10 years, we've provided service for approximately 2,300 patients, or we call them champions. And I see, looking out through the room, that it's very heavily male attended today, and so I don't want all you gentlemen to zone out, because men get breast cancer as well. 1 in 1,000 men will be diagnosed. So where Pretty in Pink Foundation comes in is after a breast cancer diagnosis is made. And that's where we pick up and start helping people. 90% of the money that we raise is placed back into the community. 10% is used for overhead. My salary comes from my grant writing skills, and based on my salary, I'm not very good at grant writing. But it's not about that. So a champion requirements. It's a North Carolina resident, U.S. citizen, in active treatment, and financial assistance is only provided from the time of the application receipt and approval, and need is based on the current poverty guidelines of 250%, which is federal poverty level. Last year, our champions received approximately $24 million worth of free medical services. That's basically me and the other Pretty in Pink program managers going into our medical partners and asking for free service. We've been very successful in everybody trying to pitch in and give us some service where they can. The $24 million worth of services included surgery, chemotherapy, administration, radiation therapy, office copays, and COBRA. We pay for surgery, excluding reconstruction, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, office copays, and of course COBRA. We are not state or federally funded. All of our money comes through grants, corporate sponsorships, private donations, third-party events, fundraisers, and individual contributions. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, I hope a lot of you are thinking, how can I participate? I know everybody has their own fundraising charities and programs that they give to. I have personally, since March, received 20 applications from Catawba County of people that need help. And everybody's different, every case is different, it ranges from $500 need to a $5,000 need. We don't help everybody the same way, it's a case-by-case basis. We sit down once a week, go over all of our applications received that day, and we read everybody's story, and we decide at that point how much, after we have gone through the proper guidelines and requirements, we decide how much that we're able to give. So, I'm gonna show a 4-minute video, and it's just an example of how you might think your company cannot participate in a nonprofit foundation, but this is literally someone else's trash is another person's treasure. So it's just 4 minutes.
We are a locally owned and operated business that wants to give a personal touch to the trash business. I get asked all the time, how is this trash business, just 2.5 years old, grown so great? Well, we might be 2.5 years old in the trash business, but we're 52 years old in the septic tank business. And we've been able to take that experience dealing with the public, dealing with individual businesses, and take that same philosophy, just making everybody feel like they're part of our family. It's so simple. We have a local business, trash competitor, and we help out the Pretty and Pink Foundation.
This is a program we have going on in
North
Wilmington.
Carolina nonprofit, and we come in after a breast cancer diagnosis has been made. So what we do is not only provide financial assistance for their life-saving treatments, but we're also there almost as first responders to answer questions, to help them understand what that journey may be like ahead of them. Pink Trash has been our biggest supporters. We got to know them about 2 years ago when they first started, and we had just come to Wilmington ourselves. Now we're coming to the end of 2 years that they've been supporting us through their Give Back program. And by the end of 2013, they will have given us $20,000 just this year. It's amazing.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer on Valentine's Day of 2012. There were some days that the trash was due, and I didn't even feel like getting up and rolling it down into the driveway. They came up and got it and rolled it out there, set it, put it back. And that's going beyond. They were helping so many others. And that's what's really important, is because when you go through cancer, you don't hear what the doctor said after you hear those words. It's the people that are around you that step up. It's been a blessing to have that support, and all I have to do is call and ask. And that means more to me than anything that I could ever say. I hope that people will understand that you can't do this alone. You've got to have others, and that's one thing about the Pretty Pink. You have others.
Pink Trash really is more than just a trash company. We tell folks that one man's trash is another man's treasure, which at this point is Pretty and Pink's treasure and our champions. But, they also spread the message. Their hearts have been touched, their families have been touched by breast cancer personally. And so when they go out and they talk to businesses, when they talk to their customers, they understand what people are going through.
It's awesome to see the local community businesses catch our vision with the Pretty and Pink Foundation. The local businesses that really stepped up to the plate and said, hey, I want to be a part of that. I want to help local. And it's been awesome to see. It really has.
Okay, that, like I said, that was a program that is existing in Wilmington, and it's just a little way that, you know, you can find some way to help Pretty in Pink Foundation. We have a founder who is, she is a surgeon with the Duke Cancer Center in Raleigh. She started 10 years ago by just helping 10 Wake County women through their treatment, and she decided at that point that she couldn't stop there. So she is currently one of the top surgeons in the state, and there are 20 or 25 other states that we have people coming from to come see her name's Dr. Lisa Tolnich, and so she's the reason that we're here. And when we pay major medical bills, $1 to you is $10 to us, because we're paying at the allowable Medicare rate. So our money goes a long way. You know, $5 goes a long way. So I'm going to open up for questions. I know I've kind of been skipping around here a little bit, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. Okay. Oh, yes.
I was just going to make a comment that fellow Rotarian, y'all know last week I came back after having been gone for over a year. And the reason I was gone is because I had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I've been dealing with that this year. And my first husband passed away in 2007, and the day that he passed away, I had no insurance. And Exodus Homes, nonprofit, you know, we just don't have the money for benefits for our employees, and so I had not had insurance since then. And I remarried a year ago last May, and I was married in May, and then I had insurance again. And in June I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I often thought to myself, what would have happened to me if I had been diagnosed before I had gotten married? What would have happened to me if I had found out before I had insurance? And I was so grateful that I had insurance, because even with insurance, it doesn't cover everything. And I was really fortunate. I caught it super early. I had surgery, I had radiation, I didn't have to have chemo. You know, I'm still on, you know, some of the drugs. But this program is so important because there's so many women who don't have insurance. And 1 out of 8 women in this country are being diagnosed with breast cancer. And I've just been shocked at the number of women who come up to me and say, I'm a survivor. You know, my sister has breast cancer, you know, my daughter has breast cancer. It just seems to be an epidemic, but I thank you for what you're doing. And actually, just wanted you to know that that's why I had been gone. And I feel great, but that's thanks to having insurance, and thanks to being treated, thanks to, you know, having the medical care that I needed. So thank you very much for what you're doing, and if there's anything you can do to help them, I think we should really think about that.
Well, thank you for supporting our cause. We are always, we also have, just a minute or two, we have a program called Beyond the Ribbon, and that is a program where we offer support services to our champions. And those support services are wigs, their gas cards to get to an appointment, their gift cards to a grocery store, because the people that we see are not the people that can afford everything that you might take for granted. So I just had a lady the other day call me and say that she could not get to her appointment in one of her treatments. So she lived in Cherokee, and she didn't have the gas, and her husband had to use the car to go to work. So her car did not have any gas, and he worked 2 hours away from home, and so she called me 4 hours, 5 hours away from her house to tell me she couldn't make it to her appointment. Luckily, I had volunteers in Cherokee that could go and get her and take her to her appointment. So we always need volunteers in every county. If you know friends that live in Charlotte or live western North Carolina, or if you have people that you feel like I could talk to or that need services from Pretty in Pink Foundation, please let me know. if there's opportunities to come into your place of work to present, that would be great too. So any other questions?
Beth, I'm a little confused, but I say that way. It appears to me that there are multiple organizations fighting cancer that have different drives. Can you help us understand part of the network so that we can get a handle on where these different foundations are coming from and what helps who?
I will try. I'm new to this since March, but I'll try. So the big national breast cancer awareness, Susan G. Komen, they are a great organization, but I like to tell people they raise money for research. So research is great, we need it. But the ladies and the men fighting breast cancer want to know what you're gonna do for them now. Show me the money. So that's how we're a little different. And also there are other organizations that provide support services, but they're not very, they don't broadcast what those support services are. So when you're researching your organizations to get involved with, try to narrow it down exactly what does support service mean. You know, we have a lot of people come to us and say, well, you know, my doctor says he feels a lump and I need a biopsy. Well, like Pretty in Pink Foundation, we do not pay for biopsies. We come in after you have been diagnosed with breast cancer. And a lot of the other organizations come in at different points too. So you have to do your research. Not, you know, there's been a lot of negative publicity about the pink ribbon. If the pink ribbon's on your bottle of water, then it's supporting breast cancer, but that's not necessarily the case. You have to really research it. So I didn't really help you there, but that's about as far as I can tell you intelligently. Any other questions?
How do you get your referrals?
You mean our applications that come in? Well, the American Cancer Institute, they're a big referral company from us. Word of mouth, we have fundraisers all over the state all the time. And we also go into the medical facilities and talk to, or the cancer treatment centers and talk to the breast health navigators, so that when they are aware of us, when they get a patient that has been diagnosed, they know that we're in the community to support them and they will direct us. One other thing, and then I will sit down, is that the way this program works, the pink trash, is in Wilmington the residents pay for trash pickup. So 1% of the billings come back to Pretty in Pink Foundation. So that's how the $20,000 adds up. Any other questions? Yes.
What does, for Healing Eyes, is that an organization or is that just a calendar every year that comes out? So, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it is an organization. And from the research that I've done, because I have a neighbor that 3 doors down that works for that organization. And from what she's told me is that it is a legitimate organization. I think they're reorganizing their company a little bit. I don't know what that means, but I've heard in the community that through Healing Eyes maybe shifting their focus or maybe trying to slow down a little bit. I'm really not sure, but yeah, I don't think they're just an event or a calendar. I think they are.
I would say they provided to me 6 free sessions at Vitality. I could have a massage therapist. I could have a number of other services that they provide. I could go 6 times for free. And so I know they do that. They provide.
And they still do.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
I sure did appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Beth. Certainly a major emphasis in our world this time. Chris, I don't think he's gonna sing solo, but he's gonna tell you about what you would have heard, and I won't make you sing since it's so late.
Well, as Murphy's Law would have it, the T-Birds and Pink Ladies for the upcoming Grease show were here, but we had sound difficulties. So, sorry, go figure, but I'm not going to sing solo, so I'll spare you. I will tell you real quick about the show. Again, my name's Chris Cazell. I work with several of you through business, but on my spare time, I'm on the board at Clater K Productions, if those of you have heard of that. We do kids shows locally, and the parent company is Carolina Broadway Theater Company, and they are another 501c3 which is putting on professional shows. This is the first year, and they're trying to get to where we can do it one time per year every summer here in Hickory. So Grease is the kickoff show. We have Saturday night a gala after the show, and there will be original movie cast members from Grease there. We've got 4 original T-Birds and Pink Ladies, as well as Carol Culver is directing it, who was one of the original movie members and choreographers. So I will have some cards at the door as you leave. Hope you all can come to the show. And again, sorry for the sound difficulties, and thank you for the opportunity.
I think anything to get out of song works. So. Okay, Mark has the service bus self-rapid.
We raised an all-time low today, I believe, of $46. I do take that personally. And so we're up at $596 right now. Uh-oh. There we go. Bet. Do the honors for us.
All right, 551907. Nobody. Okay. A lot of disappointment about that 40 bucks. No further disappointment here. All right. Yeah, we live for another day. Okay, any other announcements before we adjourn? Welcome to our guests, Floyd and Chris, Tina, thanks for being here. And if you'll stand, we'll be adjourned before we